Hello everyone, Kevin here, and I want to welcome you to this Gobbler's Roost adventure. Today's adventure, we're in the shop, and we're making my buck grunt, a deer call. It's a pretty neat friction call I learned how to make many years ago. It's a call that definitely works. A couple years ago, I got this guy here using my buck grunt. So I've got an order for one, so I'm gonna make a couple of them. As you can see, I've been cutting up some wood. I use a lot of 1/8" thick pieces, so I've got a whole bunch of walnut and padauk and purple heart and even some cocobolo cut up here. What I need to do now, I have these parts here that I cut up. This is for the handle, or the paddle, and the handle. And I need to trace these on here right now. And I got several of these others all done. It looks pretty good. I will take it over to the saw and saw it out. There's the paddle. One of the things I need to do is I need to cut the comb here. And I already have a little template that I use. Just generic template. And I already went and I cut one out, cut a couple of them out, and I really like this one, so I'm going to use it as another template. And I'm just going to trace this out. There it is, all traced out. Need a little bit of sandpaper here. Oh yeah. This'll do. let's put it on a jigsaw. Well, there's half of it done. Let's do the other half. There it is. Touch it up on sandpaper a little bit. It'll be ready to glue on when we need it. Well, that looks pretty good. Just clean it up a little bit on the sandpaper. Okay. That back. Well, that looks pretty good. Now the next thing I got to do is do this to 18 more of them. I'm making a couple of deer calls. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to make the slots in the end blocks so that my paddle and my handle can fit inside. So because I cut these out by hand and there's very slight differences between each one of them, I just use the handle that I matched up with each call, and I don't get real fancy about it. I just kind of eye it up and trace it on. It doesn't have to be perfect. There it is. I don't know if the camera picks it up. I just have to drill a couple of pilot holes and then we'll saw it out on the jigsaw. I drilled some pilot holes so that that'll help me get in there to cut that out. is. That's the end block. I'll cut out the other one, and we'll see how it fits. I'm not really expecting miracles here, because a lot of times I have to go back and shave a little off just to see. Oh. Well, the handle seems to fit in there. A little bit tight, but that's okay. That's going to fit good. Let's see how the paddle fits. Need my sandpaper again. A little bit of stuff on there. Okay. Oh, gee. The paddle slides right on. I got lucky this time. So these will be my end blocks so that my stuff can slide right in. Okay. On to the next step. So, one of the next things I have to do is I have to carve the handle, both the handle on the box and the handle on the paddle. They both need to be carved. So, two parts here that need to be carved. I drew some guidelines on it. Oh, there's one. Now let's do the paddle. Oh, I think that'll do. On to the next step. So, I have skipped ahead in the video. Did some gluing. Glued up most of the boxes. Got them all glued up and sanded. And now I need to glue the handles in and glue the comb on. I'm getting close to finishing these. See how this fits. Okay, I don't know about that. Yeah, I like getting that end better. Okay, we'll put the handle in here. When I'm gluing these up, I use a nice, well, this time I'm using Gorilla Glue. I use a tight bond also. Get a good amount of glue in there. Oh, that looks pretty good. As you can see, that's the handle's glued on now. And I think this is going to be my top. Oh yeah, that'll fit much better. Just put a thin little coat on the comb. I don't want a lot of squeeze out when I put it down. But I want enough that it'll bond. But I want enough so that it'll bond with the top of the box. Get this centered in here. I usually don't clamp it. I just hold it down. It'll bond it should bond pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of sounds like a young buck. Now, one of the last things I need to do is put the company name on the call. I think this is hot enough. I started in the early 90s and started with a company name of Buffalo Hunter Game Calls, and it's been that way ever since. Okay, that looks good. Now, the last thing we got to do is put the finish on it. It's a hand-rubbed oil finish. Oh, I got it down here somewhere. Oh, yeah. There it is. The finish I put on it is a hand-rubbed tongue oil finish. Puts a really good finish on there that resists moisture, lasts a lifetime. I put a little bit in this cap. I need my and then what I do is just a little drop on my finger. Start putting it on. Put it on kind of heavy at first. Put a heavy coat on, let it dry, and then I'll buff it out with some steel wool. Get everything nice and smooth. And then, after that, it's there it is. And I do the whole call with that, let it dry. Like I say, then I buff it out with some steel wool. And from that point, it's several more coats each day for probably, well, however many it takes, but it's usually 4 or 5 coats after that. And then I've got a nice finish that'll last the call a lifetime. There you go. That one's ready for drying. Well, there it is, everybody. The Buffalo Hunter butt grunt call. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. I hope you enjoyed this video watching me build these calls. If you're interested in these calls, there is an accompanying video about deer calls for sale. And if you see something you like, contact me and maybe I can send you a deer call. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Kevin for Gobbler's Roost Adventures.